All right, we got Dr. Kerr in the building. Are you ready to do this thing, Doc?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
KTTeeV, giving you what you need. Motivation, education unleashed. H-Town representing, we forever keep it rolling. Join the conversation with inspirational stories. Thought-provoking, feel that energy. Kendrick Thomas aiming to lift the community. True indeed, tune in, come and see. Giving you what you need. KTTeeV, let's go. KTTeeV.
Hey, what to do, KTTeeV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with the Welcome Back Carter episode of Education Unleashed. Look, y'all, I've been doing some things, and so we'll talk about that on another episode. But tonight, I am blessed to have one of the originals in the building, Dr. Crazy. Hey. Dr. Kerr in the building. Hey. Look, how you doing tonight, Dr. Kerr?
I am doing great. It's summer.
Look, we are here. And so I know you still on contract. You got a few more days. And so I'm pretty sure you're about to get to the good part in a few days. So congratulations.
Absolutely. Yes. 10 days off, 10 days.
Look, I'm telling you, after this Summer Fest, it will be probably about 10 days, if not before. They threw a mandatory training in there just to break it up for me.
Oh, yes.
But I'm so glad because, after being away from the time, just focusing on a lot of responsibilities, I'm excited that I'm getting to relaunch Education Unleashed and that you are here tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And so for everybody, this season, we'll continue having authentic conversations about education, leadership, innovation, and the people that are making a difference in the lives of our students, like Dr. Kerr. So before we get this thing started, let's talk a little bit about some news. One story that's making headlines this week involves major changes at the federal level. So the U.S. Department of Education has announced new agreements that will shift some of its responsibilities to other federal agencies. Under these changes, the oversight of special education programs and employment services for adults with disabilities will move to the Department of Health and Human Services. Okay. In addition, the Department of Justice will assume responsibility for civil rights enforcement in schools. So would that be like title, all that kind of stuff? That's okay. That could be. All right. Yeah. So civil rights enforcement in schools, student privacy enforcement, and support services that assist schools, school districts in desegregation efforts. Don't know where that's going, but wow. All right. So supporters believe these changes could improve coordination between the agencies, but critics have expressed concerns about the accountability and whether students with disabilities and historically underserved groups will continue receiving focused attention and support. As educators, parents, community members, this is a story we're following because decisions made in Washington often have a direct impact on the services available in our local schools. And so one question that I pose, and Dr. Kerr, I want you to chime in on this or anything that you think about this story, but will these changes strengthen support for students or create new barriers for the families who rely on these services?
Well, I'm going to be optimistic and hope that, with all of the dismantling of the Department of Education, it feels like maybe there's not enough knowledge and not enough systems in place there to make a difference. I can only hope that moving these certain things, people and departments under other departments, I could hope that maybe there's just a little bit more expertise. Unfortunately, we know that the feds tend to move very slow. Hopefully, Texas is very self-important, so we can hope that hopefully, the state steps in You know, it's a mixed bag on what the state would say, but if the state were to have a more oversight, that might be a little bit more helpful.
Well, we will find out. Yeah, in a little while. Yeah, but I agree though. You know, you think about that expertise because I was watching wrestling all my life, and so I would just leave it at that right there. All right, y'all. Next, I want us to get into our conversation with Dr. Kerr, and so tonight she's going to help us rethink how learning can be delivered to meet the needs of diverse needs of students and families. So just hold that thought. What we'll do, take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Oh, shameless plug. If you have not been to KTTeeV.com, did you see that shirt? I am a product of my choices. Not my environment. Let's talk about it. Now, I had to talk to a kid about that today, man. What kind of choices are you making? All right, so now back to the money. And for the reintroduction, joining us tonight is Dr. Kerr, leader of A-Leaf 360 Virtual School. Dr. Kerr, again, welcome to Education Unleashed.
Thank you. Let's unleash.
Hey, all right. So first off, give us a little bit of background on you, and just catch us up on who you are and what have you been doing in your career in education.
All right. Well, I tomorrow actually will wrap up year 28 in education. Ooh. So finishing year 28 and my 25th in A-Leaf. So I'm pretty A-Leaf proud. I did spend 3 years in Bryan ISD when I was attending grad school. So I do have a doctorate in curriculum and instruction with an emphasis on teacher preparation and multicultural education. And I think that's what really drove me to come back to A-Leaf and just work with our extremely diverse population. I was a middle school teacher. I taught reading for a long time. And then did some coaching. I was the 7B basketball coach. Let me tell you, a big time right here, big time coach.
Yes.
So Coach Kerr. And then all of my leadership for the most part has been in high school. I spent some time at Taylor High School as a graduation coach and interventionist. 6 years as an AP at Elsick High School. Then I got my toes wet again in the middle school. 4 years at Albright. And then I was named the principal of the SOAR and LINK program in A-Leaf ISD. And for those that don't know, SOAR is our credit recovery high school, and LINK was our newcomer program. So kids that are new to the country, it was a very heavy English immersion program to help those kids. So recently I got a title change, and I will be the director of SOAR and A-Leaf 360.
Hey, A-Leaf 360.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
Yes, I think it'll work. But first, I just want to go back and just say, I think we all have done our 3 years in Bryan ISD. So big shouts out to Bryan ISD. I did coach football, varsity football, and track, and I taught English at Rudder High School.
What?
Yes.
I was at Jones Elementary.
Look, come on, man. We at the big shouts out to BISD. I remember coaching on those sidelines. This was during Johnny Manziel and Summerlin time. So as I coach football, Summerlin would invite us over to practice and kind of get a lot of stuff. Shouts out to Price, Coach Price. He was also my church member when I was down there. We went to Danny Church. And so just, hey, look, just have some fun in that thing, man. So look, yes. All right. So now I guess just jumping right into things. So from a lot of the work that you're doing, many people have heard about virtual learning, but not everyone understands what makes programs like A-Leaf 360 unique. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, the legislature came out with a word, so to speak. They're not mandating online education, but they are saying basically if there is a need, then we need to provide it. So many people have probably noticed that a lot of districts are jumping on board with online schools. So I don't want to say it's a fad. It really came out of legislation, but I think we are seeing more and more parents wanting more choice in their education. The vouchers really did a number on public schools. So you see people pulling their kids out and trying to send them to private schools or charters. So ALEAF is doing its part to kind of meet students where they are and give parents more choice in their education. So that's really where ALEAF 360 came from. We are really trying to do this differently. So we are starting with 9th graders next year, but we are really trying to build a virtual school that is different than your traditional online program.
And so, and I think you said a little bit to it, but when you think about building those programs, meeting students where they are, I guess what problem was ALEAF 360 created to solve?
So again, I think some of it is that school choice. If you talk to people that don't really know a lot about online education, you hear a lot of, oh, kids just want to go there because it's easy and they won't have to do anything. But people, we are not COVID teaching anymore. I think a lot of people really, when they hear online teaching, they go back to the days of COVID. And, you know, that was just sprung upon us, and it was not very efficient. It was not very rigorous. So online learning really is to meet the needs of specific kids. From the applicants that we already have, I've talked to parents. It's everything from I'm too scared to go to school because of the political climate. One of the applicants said, I love school and I really like to learn, but it's hard to do that when there are disruptions in the classroom and people, you know, messing around in the hall. And then I had another parent that has a child that developed a pretty serious medical condition and basically can't go to school. So, you know, a lot of times we think when kids are absent, they're just not interested in education, but there really are circumstances that don't allow for students to come and meet that compulsory attendance expectation. So online school is developed to kind of bring school to the student. And with ALEAF 360, we're really trying to meet kids where they are, trying to give a personalized touch. You know, 30 kids in the classroom, you can do as much as you can, but when you're online and you have a flexible schedule, you really can pull small groups, have independent conferences, and really work with those kids.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think you did explain it, you know, just that student who may have issues and I can't get to school because so many people think, like you say, COVID teaching, right? And so if there was an ideal student, and you may have just named it, but if you could just say one ideal, like this student would be perfect for that. And if it would be that student that is you know, that can't get to school, then I understand totally. But what is the ideal for 360?
I think when you think about an online student, you're not looking for a student that's not motivated. You know, online learning comes with a lot of responsibilities. And as I've ventured into this world, I've really learned a lot more about it. You know, our model is going to be some whole group live teaching, lots of small group interaction, but there's a huge asynchronous part that comes with it. And, you know, for those not familiar with the terms, asynchronous is when students are left on their own to complete online work. So you really do need a student that has some organization. Now, however, we're starting with 9th graders. That tends to be an issue for most children. So we will do a lot of work on helping kids get organized. I just put in my order for planners. You know, I think a lot of kids need to just learn how to use a calendar. So you do want a kid that's somewhat organized and definitely motivated. If a student could have a learning disability, maybe they don't have confidence in themselves, but if they're willing to show up and try and ask questions and ask for help, then they should be able to be successful.
I agree with that.
Now,
as you go around, and as you've been going around, and you know, I know you've been promoting, you've been doing a lot of work. Has there been any, like, and even not any, it could be one main misconception about the virtual learning that you have to kind of keep clearing up over and over?
Honestly, it really is that the COVID. It's not COVID teaching. There really is this idea that kids. When I went to one of the middle schools, I was having a conversation, and those guys were, I think, in third or fourth grade when we had COVID. And, you know, I was like, okay, raise your hand if you just got online during COVID and looked at your teacher. And they're like, raise your hand if you did something and passed. And they're like, and I'm like, raise your hand if you did nothing and passed. So I think there's this idea that it's not rigorous, that, you know, the teachers don't really know what they're doing, that it's kind of boring. But there is so much out there. So we are partnering with a learning platform. We are slowly writing our own curriculum. So the great thing about this is that it will be lessons and content taught by ALEAF ISD teachers and then written by ALEAF teachers. We're a few classes, we're still having to partner with a learning platform, but the teachers will put their touches on it. So when you go into a learning management system, the videos are there, you know, the work, not the worksheets, but, you know, like the different skills, the assessments. And then teachers, you know, as I've been taking wish lists and ideas, you know, they're wanting this software and that software. And, I need this light to be able to do this. So I think it's a lot more engaging and a lot more rigorous.
Yeah. And when you think about that, like one of the biggest concerns that I believe people do have is whether students can stay engaged when you think about that ninth grade. But another part of that is building those relationships, right? Through that screen. And so my question would be, and if y'all already kind of got some of those pieces thought out as we build this plane, how do teachers build those meaningful relationships through the program, and how do they maintain that engagement in that virtual environment?
Well, one thing that we are doing is that teachers will go live once a week with their content in a whole class setting. However, a lot of the other instruction is going to take place in small groups. So just by pulling kids into small groups, that automatically gives the teachers and students more of a chance to get to know each other. It is building a culture as far as helping students feel warm and welcome, but it also is really getting to know the student as a learner. So that's one piece. Yeah. We also are going to have an advisory period, and each student will be assigned an advisory coach. And that coach is going to be responsible, kind of like the family liaison. So parents will have one point of contact. They are welcome to call anyone, me, the teacher, whoever, but that advisory coach is just kind of that one person. You don't have to remember, do they teach math or science, but you know they're assigned to your kid and they're there to help them be successful. I've already started thinking about some things we can do in advisory. I graduated from Rice yesterday. I don't know if you saw my social media. I went to
yes, congratulations.
Thank you. A leadership experience there. But Principal Kafele came and spoke to us, and he was talking about having your morning message. So that really spoke to me. And that's like, how do you have a morning message when kids are virtual? So I started thinking of some things, and I'm thinking, I can make a video every morning and post it in Schoology so the kids are able to log in and see me and hear the morning message. So I think it's going to be getting creative and building community within the online community, and then maybe doing some activities. Well, not maybe, but doing also some outside activities, going to the skating rink, having a social, all that. Maybe we'll do some pop-ups and bring kids some certificates and prizes.
Hey.
So anything's possible.
That's right. Because look, unlike COVID times, I can still pull up on you right now, baby. Yes. So all I need to do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So now, are there, and I know we talked about the advisory period and how important that is. Are there any other systems in place to ensure students remain accountable, supported, and on track academically?
So the teachers are expected to do a lot of data tracking. And that data tracking is from tracking attendance to how engaged the student is, whether it's in the live lesson, the participation. how they're making progress. So really there's, and it's the classroom teacher and the advisory teacher are responsible for that. We do have a period a day built in for our teachers to have collaboration. We do believe that's very important. So, you know, maybe a child's doing good in my classroom and they're not doing as well in yours. So we're able to talk and discuss things. And maybe I know, oh, that kid, you know, they were short on money and couldn't pay the rent this month. And then it makes sense to you why they're sleeping or I'm hungry. So, you know, really, I think just getting to know our kids. But the idea is that we don't want anyone to be unsuccessful. So we will monitor and stay on top of it and communicate with parents as well as the students to make sure they're staying on top of their game.
Old school, monitor and adjust, period.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Now jumping into just the evolution of education in itself, whether it is or it isn't, depending on who you talk to. But most would say education continues to evolve and schools are constantly, I guess, attempting to adapt to meet the needs of today's learners. And so thinking about whether it is traditional high school, whether it's virtual high school, if you yourself could redesign that experience from the ground up, what would you keep and what would you change?
As excited as I am to do this and the virtual learning, I'm definitely a social butterfly. I bet you won't believe this, but when I was in middle school, I used to get put in the corner a lot and for talking. And then I'd get mad that I couldn't talk, so I'd talk to myself. And I played a ton of sports, you know. So for me, you know, being in the building and being very social, that's huge to me. So building an online program, that social piece is important. I have always felt like public schools will always be here. They're going to underfund us until we're, you know, drowning in debt, or we are. But there's always going to be a need for public schools. What I've always said, too, is that kids need their own IEP. Every kid needs an individualized education plan. So I feel like we're on the right track here with They Leave 360, really trying to meet the kids where they are. Now it's just going to be a matter of being able to work in all those other things like the fine arts or the extracurricular, those pieces, which we are offering. It's just kind of trying to put it all together and what does that look like? But for me, I think if I don't know, I probably wanted to always be in school, but I think there's some kids that like in my SOAR program, there are a lot of kids that work, and I see that kind of a hybrid opportunity is important. You know, kids that work, kids that have kids, you know, people that have sick parents or someone in their family, or they're taking care of their brothers and sisters. Like, you're able to still complete your work and not fall behind. Because when you're not at school, teachers tend to think you don't care. So to me, this is kind of, it would be a blend of online and in person. But I would say keeping this as close to a traditional experience as possible is what we're looking for.
Yeah. Now, one big piece would be like, would it be like mixers or, you know, anything like that? Since these are high school students, would y'all do something like that, or what would be that social piece? Have you thought through all of it?
Well, the big joke planning has been we're going to have hot dog parties. I don't even know where that came from, but I do foresee that we'll have some like socials or some mixers. You know, maybe we'll come together, whether it's at Taylor or whether it's at a park or a restaurant. You know, maybe have a dinner party. I do think. There's something to be said for having a game night or going to the movies, you know, just having a meetup, but it would be very structured. The great thing about this program is that the students are Taylor High School students. So if they want to go to a ball game and go support the Lions, they can, and they can participate in those extracurricular activities. So it is a good mix. But I do think it's also important that for us to connect the 360 kids in their own community as well.
Yeah,
so you can come and grill.
Hey, look! I got some burgers. I got flip something. It's been a minute since I've been on there, but trust me, I can always go back. I got a nice thermometer to make sure everything is safe. So we'll keep going till then. It's all in the seasoning, though. You gotta whip the wrist. Yeah, look, just call me. All right, and I guess and I believe that you talked a lot about that, right? Just because my last question was, what role do you believe that the virtual and the flexible learning opportunities will play in the future of education? And for me, also working at high school, you do think about those students who got to work. I've had to sit, and it's been a few lean on me moments since being in LC, where a kid was like, "Man, I can't really come to school. I got to work."
Right.
And so after that, we'd have that conversation, and it would be, by the time that kid made that decision, it's no way that I could tell them that school has anything for them. And so being able to get those flexible pieces for those students first would be so important, and what I could see being successful in the future.
Yeah, wow. I do foresee that, we are going to be a strong virtual, like a regular school. But I do foresee that we'll probably, as we grow, branch out more to kind of assist, the kids that are having to work, or, the ones that just cannot physically be present, because we have a lot of smart kids that just have a lot of circumstances that they're doing the best they can. And if we can convince a kid to be motivated and stay in school, and even if it's messy, that's important, because we've got to get these kids graduated and on to having a better start to their career, to their future.
And now, have you had a chance to check out a school that is almost like the model or the exemplar? Not
100%. Like we are going to be housed at Taylor High School, so the teachers will come in and teach. I've heard, there's some places where their teachers do teach from home. I've tried to go online and do a lot of research, but people aren't always exactly open and wanting to share. I guess we're all in competition. Texas Connections.
One of the
biggest and how do you compete with a program with 15,000 kids? But I definitely have joined a lot of Facebook groups and just learning. Actually, my cousin came into town a few weeks ago, and her daughter graduated from Texas Connection. So I haven't really been visiting the model as much as I've really been talking to people about what's worked, what their kids want, what doesn't work. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that will do it. We'll get to our next section, and then I want to come back and I want to wrap this up. But right now, what we'll do, let's take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going rapid fire. So get your mind right. Oh, hold up. Let me go back. All right, Dr. Kerr, are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Born ready.
We're about to go rapid fire. Let's go.
Oh, God.
Go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, or go home.
Okay, look. Just give us the first thing. Don't you think about this stuff, Dr. Kerr. I know you be thinking. Don't do it. Give me the first answer that comes to your head.
Okay.
Look. Okay. What is your favorite education book?
Why do all the black kids sit together in the cafeteria?
Oh, that's deep right there. Coffee or tea?
Coke.
Oh, wow. Favorite part of your day?
What?
The favorite part of your day?
Oh, bedtime.
Hey. One word that describes ALE 360.
Fire.
Woo! Look, if we was on the phone, I probably would have blocked you right then. Right there. One word that describes the future of education.
I don't want to be too.
I think five words just passed by. Interesting. Most important quality in a successful student.
Man. Attitude.
Okay, I was going to say organization, but I'll take attitude.
Yeah.
All right. Most important quality in an effective educator.
Oh, empathy.
Oh, nice. Favorite thing about working with students?
I can't say what. Yeah, I love to dance.
Yes. Okay.
I like to show off my dance moves for them.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Right.
Censor. Come on, the sprinkler. Oh, the
whoa. See, I knew it was coming. Okay. Best advice you've ever received.
Ooh. I don't know if this was really advice, but I do believe in apologizing when I'm wrong and owning my mistakes.
Yes, I think that is very good advice. Yes. Okay.
If you were now, I do it.
This is the one for me. If you weren't in education, what career would you have pursued?
A lawyer.
Wow. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me why? Can you tell us why?
When I was in 5th grade, my teacher told me and my best friend that we were going to be the president and the vice president of the United States. And so I was determined. Oh, and they told me I talked too much and I argued a lot, so I should be a lawyer. So I took what they said and went with it until I interned at a law firm. Horrible. Yeah. There's always no real life experience to make you decide. But at least you had a chance to decide then, though, versus getting into law school and then like, I know some people that did it. Correct. All right. So now, thank you for participating in that rapid fire. Caught you off guard, a few of them. It was one question I seen about 5 words pass, just look. But that's what it's supposed to be, though. So big shouts out to you. All right. So now, as we close up the conversation, if a parent is watching tonight and trying to determine what's best for their child, what would you, over 360, want them to know? While I want everyone to come to A-Leaf 360, and I can't wait to be the principal of these kids that want to come, and the few that are enrolled, I do have to say, with the choice that's out there now, to believe in public schools and then utilize the different programming. I did work in the admissions office when I was in college. And one thing I learned is that there is a fit for everyone. And A-Leaf 360 might not be everyone's fit. It might not be online learning. But I encourage parents to really look for what their kids need. It's becoming a family decision. Parents have concerns, students have concerns, but there's so many options out there that don't give up on public schools. You're going to find something that works for your kid, especially in A-Leaf with everything, fine arts, a girls' school, STEM academies, pre-engineering. There's so much stuff out there. So I would just say find what works for you. And hopefully it's A-Leaf.
Keep going until you. Hey, look, you had to put that in there. Great plug at the end. Shameless, but great.
Absolutely.
All right, look, thank you, Dr. Kerr. Thank you for joining us tonight and sharing more about the important work that you're doing. Awesomeness. Man, it's my pleasure. All right. And thank you to everyone who joined us for the relaunch of Education Unleashed. If you enjoyed tonight's conversation, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. More importantly, share this episode with a parent, educator, or community member who may benefit from learning about the opportunities available through A-Leaf 360. You can learn more about visiting AliFISD.com. Is it a /360 or how's that work?
Yeah, AliFISD, www.alifisd.net/AliF360. You also can look for us on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
Hey, there we go. She didn't even say
Virtual.
Twitter.
Ali.
Yes, Ali Virtual.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, well, y'all. This is KT and
Dr. Crazy.
Hey. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We are signing out. 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood. This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTeeV.
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 KTTeeV. Is that right?